Why is this one unlisted? Okay. Hold on. No data. The stream will end shortly. How is Kilgore Void here? Alright, I guess we're fine.
Oh, I see it.
A small herd of giraffes. Hello! Hi, everybody! Sorry for the delay. It's completely my fault.
What the?
It happens when
Wow.
you stream 6 nights a week, folks.
Hope we got kidnapped. But now we're back.
Just having a little Thanksgiving with the fam, and we ran a little late. Even the Italian trains run on time, Jay. Are we going to paint a turkey for Thanksgiving? That'd be fun. I wish Anvil Industries or somebody would do a Thanksgiving, particularly Anvil Industries, because they have a really fun Christmas statue. It's like a Santa with a machine gun. And so they should do like a turkey with a bow and arrow or something.
That'd be fun. What is Cobra Mode doing for November?
Ooh, that's a good point.
That'd be funny.
I'm glad Amber was able to send my alert. They also have a tank commander with a bucket of chicken. Oh my goodness, I'm not familiar with that model. I'll have to go check it out. I do want to place an Anvil order soon. But are they in the States? I think they're not, and that's why I didn't pull the trigger yet. I think they're one of those foreigners. Yeah.
Gross.
Alright, today I'm just going to keep working on the weapon, because I have some fun freehanding, and then, I don't know, some more fun stuff, like weathering. They'll get here, they're UK based, so they'll get here next year by Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Hey, Craig Turpin.
Craigers. It's a quote from the American Office, which is a show I love. I get why the British one is like better, but I love them both. I probably like the American one more just because there's 9 seasons of it instead of 13 episodes.
That usually helps. Gotta knock out a cold one.
My uncle kept trying to give me fancy beers, and I was like, I only want the one. That's okay. He's a big beer person. He loves him some fancy smancy. It all tastes the same beer.
So you just turned down free beer?
I had one.
Sounds like
That's
someone's
true.
a quitter.
Alright, so I think on the black side it's going to be checkerboarded, and then on the red side it's going to be yellow stripes. Fancy beer. Is that like a beer with a fancy straw and umbrella? Exactly.
It has one of those fancy twisty straws.
Alright, time to do a little checkerboarding. Somebody roasted me in the comments today of keep your paints fresh forever. They said if you have time, if you can, or no, it must have been 9 Hobby Tools. Yeah, because 9 Hobby Tools is the one that gets the mean comments. But they said if you can keep your Games Workshop pots, if you can keep them dry for your 5 years, then you have no excuse for super glue bottles.
Or alive?
Yeah. If you can keep it dry, like from drying out.
Yeah.
I don't like super glue in bottles. Because...
But again, it all goes back to the point. Why should you have to do a bunch of work?
Like I could work really hard and make sure that the tip stays, perfect and clean it if it gets dirty, or I can just use single-use squeezers. Like one single-use squeeze bottle that's 50 cents by volume is going to get me through an entire box of Space Marines. And then I have a brand new, never before used super glue for the next box I buy.
I think 50 cents is a little much. I feel like they're a lot less than that.
I think I mapped it out. It's the ones I buy. I think it's 12 for like 680. So I think it does work out to about 50 cents. I'm sure you can get cheaper. That's just my go-to on Amazon. Z Nibiq, hello.
Hey.
Craig Turpin, I have so much trouble with CA glue in big bottles. Yeah, I do too. I have the problem where I'm not always good at like making sure the cap is on perfectly, and so it starts to cure in the bottle. And then it's just gross.
Yeah. I used to use the super glue with the brush tip. And it never, you get like one or two good brushes in, and then after that, it all goes to hell.
I'm constantly drilling out the spout. Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I'll do it when I have to, like pots. Pots require some upkeep, but you can't buy GW paint and droppers. But I'm not gonna do it I'm not gonna do it if I don't have to.
We should start a service where we move paint into dropper bottles for people.
That'd be hilarious.
Hey, Zergy619.
Mitraillette. Mitraillette. I bought a kill team of Scions to get into 40k last year or 2 years ago, and I have been too nervous about getting into painting them. You've been too nervous about getting into painting, or too nervous to paint them? Because I don't know. Either of those things we can get through.
We'll do it together.
Your first models will probably suck a little.
But everyone's does.
No matter what.
Both.
Have you ever seen the posts on Facebook where people are like, "Hey guys, it's my first watercolor. What do you think?" And it's beautiful, and you're like, "Come on. What are you trying to pull here?"
Right.
I love those. I think Scions are not a bad kit to start on, though. They're a little detailed, but nothing you can't overcome. I'd suggest maybe giving them a nice light-colored primer, and then just going to town. Make sure you thin your paint.
And you could always repaint them later.
That's true.
As well. Because I have a bunch of models that are begging for a repaint.
The acronym doesn't look great.
Yeah, the AOS
Oh.
A oh geez ASHOG, a small herd of
Ah.
giraffes.
uh, maybe it could just be little giraffes.
Well, they aren't little, or maybe they
Well, it
are.
might just
Are
be
they
a
little
small.
giraffes?
Maybe it's a small herd of giraffes could be a small herd of appropriately sized giraffes. But yeah,
Right, it could be just a few,
maybe
like
maybe it
three.
could be several giraffes.
A gathering of several giraffes.
A flock of giraffes.
Hey, World War art.
Ah, the humble brag.
I love a good humble brag.
Yeah, my biggest worry is mostly just thinning my paints. In ceramics class, my clay was always too wet, and my underglaze is always too dry. Yeah, thinning your paint, I think, is the most difficult thing. You kind of just have to learn it through experience.
But I would also say that it's much easier to fix mistakes on the models rather than ceramics.
Yeah.
So I bet you could get used to it.
A small herd of giraffes. I am a small herd of several adult-sized giraffes, in case you were wondering. Ah, thank you for clarifying. Thin your paint. Yeah, Dave Dog. Thin your paint and then judge the consistency by painting a line on the back of your hand before you put paint on the mini. Yes, I do that. As you can see, I already have some white lines on my finger to get a feel for the consistency before I put a line on the model. And to wipe off excess paint. And to sharpen the point of my brush.
And because it makes you look even cooler. Before I go out, I always give my hand a spray paint of blue so I look like an artist. Craig Turpin has expert advice. Or taste the paint. If it's too nutty, thin it out more.
But if it's not nutty enough, you got to put in a little more paint.
Zenubik doesn't think that you should taste your paint. Well, I don't know. I don't know why you'd say that.
Don't.
How else will you know what color it is?
That's true. I'm pretty sure that's how Midwinter tells his paints apart. Because he's colorblind.
Ah, yeah. He's colorblind. What's your favorite flavor of paint?
Ooh, I think I gotta go with like any.
Mine's blue.
Blue's pretty good. You ever airbrush with Vallejo paint and you get that really sweet smell?
Oh,
yeah.
It's candy?
That's not bad.
I wonder what they're hiding.
Killer Void, probably African Shadow from Scale 75. Has a nice burning tingle.
Ooh.
All right, so this checkerboarding is going to take the rest of the time.
Yeah. It's looking checkerific, though. I love green, especially with a pinch of pepper.
A connoisseur.
Truly.
Instead of a wino, you're a painto.
I'm Painto.
Ooh, speaking of shows that are fine-ish, Beastar, the trailer for Beastars Season 2 came out. And I'm very excited. And it's an anime, which is actually Nick's favorite thing. He loves anime.
Yeah. I've seen so many animes.
You were just telling me yesterday about the new episode of My Hero Academia.
Exactly. I enjoy anime very much. I find it an enjoyable thing to watch. I think I've only seen I've seen one anime.
What anime?
Like half an episode. I'm trying to remember.
Pokemon doesn't count.
No,
I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
List out
Naruto?
What
Bleach?
Oh, God, what? No.
One Punch Man?
No.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No. Hentai doesn't count, Nick. Damn it, that's what I was thinking about.
Ah, got him.
Damn. You got me, Craig.
The manga for Beastars ended a few days ago. Oh, interesting. Well, the anime is far behind the manga.
What it was. I was dating somebody at the time, and she said, "We're gonna watch this, or you should watch this." It's a big one. Everyone has seen it.
Was it a movie or a TV show?
TV show.
I don't know.
Got it. I'm looking. I don't think I'm gonna find it though.
Yeah, we need Kira here to find it.
Yeah, right.
The resident scholar.
She would know. She'd be like, "Oh, is this one?" Before like she would
know it after you said I watched.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a walking database.
Attack on Titan. That's what I watched.
Oh, I've heard Attack on Titan's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't. Just can't do it.
I like the idea of the Titans. Although it's one of those stories. Have you ever had a movie or a show where there's a better show described in the show? Like Attack on Titan, the world that led to the Titans sounds way more interesting than the Titans.
Yeah, I started watching it. Oh my gosh! Lucky Bat got it. That's really funny that Lucky Bat got it. I searched most popular animes and I found that one. But yeah, Lucky Bat, that was correct.
Shaman King got remade and Bleach is coming back. Attack on Titan, the product of a bad acid trip. Sometimes it's about the destination, not the journey.
I should watch Cowboy Bebop. The series is amazing, even if you don't like anime.
I don't know if that's true.
Is that true?
What if you really don't like anime?
We should We should do live commentary tracks on the Patreon.
Oh, that'd be fun. A small herd of giraffes. What if I want to put a metallic over another color? Is that a serious painting question? Because if it's a cold color, you probably want to water down silver and then put it over. And if it's a warm color, you probably want to water down a gold and then put that over your color. I did that for to finish off his little the studs on his collar and his little tag. I painted it with browns and yellows, and then I thinned down gold, and then I put that on top to give it a little sheen. And if you thin it down enough, it shouldn't dull your effect. The Book of Don Quixote was basically based on medieval romance, but making fun of the genre, and all the background stories were a lot better than the main story, since it was poking fun at the genre.
Interesting.
Turbo Dork's paint. Well, I wouldn't know. I never turboed the Dork.
But you have dorked
Yes.
Turbo before.
Yeah, I like a couple of anime.
Hentai doesn't count,
Hentai
remember?
okay, I like 3 anime. No, I like it a little. I like Beastars though, just because it's so messed up. It's almost like a horror.
Yeah. I think if I was to anime it up, that I would go for it, because you've talked to me about it as well as Lucky Bat. I don't know.
I showed you
maybe
the weird like stop motion intro.
It's amazing.
Hey guys, so what should we do for the intro? I don't know. Let's do like a weird stop motion. Okay. The show's not in stop motion though. Yeah, no, but. If your dork has been turboed for more than 4 hours, please consult your physician. FLCL, Cowboy Bebop, Kill la Kill, and Little Witch Academia to feel good when down? Okay. So those are like your go-to. Yeah, I think for me it's The American Office. Is like if I'm just having a rough day, I put a little of that on. It takes me right back to The Good Place. Although I also love the show The Good Place.
I listen to Marilyn Manson when I'm sad. That really works for me.
Oh, I watched another anime that was not very good. But I watched the whole thing just to see if it got good, and it didn't. God, what was the name of it? It was an acronym. Like BNA. I think it was called BNA, and it was just an acid trip, but not a good one. Like it was about, cuz I was flying high off of Beastars, and I'm like, I want more of that. And it was another anime about animals, like an animal human society, and it sucks. The whole story makes no sense whatsoever. Like a certain amount of the population can turn into animals, but most of the time they just turn into people. I guess to save animation budget. And then it turns out that the bad guy, it turns out that the bad guy has magical powers through inbreeding. But our hero has magical powers because he's a god. And the mayor of Animal City, which is called Animal City, is a genetics professor who helped to make super inbred monster serum.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And like the first episode has our spunky hero like accidentally breaking up a human trafficking ring.
Oh my god.
But then it's never brought up again.
Wow.
The anime with dude with the big sword. Berserk ain't bad. The big sword is that Final Fantasy? That has big swords in it. Joy Flores. Yeah, it's BNA. I like the studio that made it. They made other anime I've liked in the past. But that one was just no direction. Like they wanted to make a Zootopia and Beastars. Magic Man. Now, not just inbred. There was a whole ritual blood sacrifice thing they had to do for immortality. Huh. There was something about inbreeding. They talk about their bloodline a lot. Although they were also an evil genetics laboratory / mobsters.
Well, that just goes hand in hand.
And why did they just play baseball to the death in one episode? That has no relationship to anything in the plot. So is B&A a prequel to The Lobster? Which lobster? You mean like the surrealist film The Lobster? That kind of works. I liked The Lobster. It has some neat concepts in it. I liked in terms of like weird surreal movies, I liked The Lobster. Did not like Under the Skin. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I didn't get what made it so special. Like there's like a 5-minute scene of filming out a bus window, and I'm like, I don't get it. I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
And like why did why did she run into the Elephant Man?
I mean, you just don't get it.
No.
You're not a real intellectual.
Let's talk about surrealist film like U Chen Andulo and or Beauty and the Beast by Kochu. The Room. The Room is a surrealist masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Mulholland Drive. I've heard of Mulholland Drive. I've heard of very good things about Mulholland Drive. I've never seen it though. You are tearing me apart, Craig. The Room is magical. It's so bad. Zenubikyu is very cultured. I have not heard of any of these movies. Oh, hi, Mark. I know all about The Room, though. Are we talking about things that are so bad that they're good? I have several recommendations if we are. Oh, yeah, throw those out. One of my favorites is Birdemic Shock and Terror.
Oh, boy.
I like the theory that Tommy Wiseau is D.B. Cooper, and that's how he doesn't talk because about his past because he got all the money to make movies. Nobody though said that D.B. Cooper was like a giant weird looking guy with a lazy eye. Like I feel like you could spot Tommy Wiseau in a crowd. You could pick him out of a lineup. I did not hit her. It is not true. I did not hit her. It is bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. I'm sure The Room is just as good as all these masterpieces Inubikyu's bringing up.
Oh, yeah.
Try the amazing movie Miami Connection. I feel like I've heard of Miami Connection. Mid-90s karate movie. It's really bad, but it's bad with such a childlike wonder. Is that the movie with like the song Against the Ninja? Where they talk about like doing karate and friendship?
Is there just one song?
Well, there's one like song famously like how does it go? It's like it's like a weird chant like friendship, honor, loyalty, camaraderie, we stick together through thick or thin, and it just plays over and over. I'm probably thinking of a different movie. I've seen Karate Kid. That little known film.
Yeah. Dark Lugia Warhammer because of the orc.
Wog.
Started painting my boys a couple of weeks ago.
Well, Dark Lugio, you should check out Baldemore's video on the orcs. It is that video alone got me pumped for orcs again. Like it's so awesome. That's Baldemort, bald and then a mort, like Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the re-release at an art house where a group came to introduce the movie. They told everyone to join in on the song before the movie. No one knew the words. If you like Breathless, you'd also probably get a kick out of High and Low by Kurosawa. Kurosawa, why does that name sound familiar? Kurosawa is a master of cinema. What is Kurosawa made? Seven Samurai. That's where I've heard of him. Need that orc knowledge. I think one of my favorite orc stories of all time is a little story. I think it's published in 1D4chan. I don't know if it's from 4chan, but it's a story of an orc squad led by a knob driving within an orc truck across a desert, and the truck runs out of gas. And the boys hop out and they say, "Oh no, we're out of gas." And then the knob punches that boy, punches the orc boy so that his head rolls off, and says, "We're not out of gas. I filled it up right before we left." So all the orcs pile back in the truck. They turn the key. The truck rumbles back to life, and they drive on with 1 drop of fuel doing the job of 1,000,000. And but because the knob said it and the orcs believed it, that 1 drop of fuel was able to get them where they needed to go. Because the orcs are vaguely psychic. And if they believe something strong enough, it kind of just works.
It works.
Ah! Mitrelette, I really enjoyed and loved the Krieg series that was published on 4chan. Oh, I don't know if I've read that. I might have though. That's not the one where it's like a lame romance story, but instead of it being like a normal guy and girl, it's a guy, like a normal guy and a Krieg woman from 40k. Because that was hilarious and awesome and really long, and I loved it. Oh yeah, totally. I really enjoyed the Love and Krieg. Yeah, we're we've read the same thing. That's great. Orcs have the power of imagination, and I freaking love that they are so pure. That's why Yarrick is so successful, because the orcs fear him so much. Yes. Commander Yarrick is an awesome foil to the orcs. Because the orcs, a rumor was spread throughout the orcs that he could shoot laser beams out of his eye. And so he had a laser eye installed in his head. There's a spin-off of Love and Krieg. I'm sure it probably doesn't capture the original. A blessing from Gork and Mork. If I recall, Love and Krieg was not from one author, but random 4chan posts. Oh, if that's true, that's awesome. Krieg got squatted. I keep hearing that, but I've been seeing a lot of Krieg YouTube videos pop up in my feed. So are Krieg gone from Forge World, or are the rules just gone? Zap Noggin and Wazmaka were two of my favorite orcs from Dawn of War 3. Ah, I didn't play Dawn of War 3. Sean, with GW getting into crime, horror, and other genres, do you think that they'll get into Slaneshi erotica for the plot? I think they're going to leave that in the capable hands of the fans.
Yes. The fans will write what the fans will write.
The Commissar and his maid is one of the more interesting Love and Krieg spin-offs. Oh, that sounds hilarious.
Oh my god. Uh, that sounds awesome.
Ooh, Magic Man says they gutted a lot of the Krieg units. Well, hopefully they didn't gut the Krieg Rough Riders, because I adore those models. And one day I might buy one. Because they're expensive. But they're super cool. It's like a Krieg soldier riding like a mutated horse.
Mm.
What color is the cavalry? Gas mask cavalry. The Acadian Hostile Environment set got canned from Forge World. I didn't even know such a thing existed. Acadian Hostile Environment set. Huh.
Basically, a conversion kit that gave Cadians gas masks.
Well, there's a bunch of companies that make beautiful gas mask alternatives. I think Victoria Miniatures has a bunch. Cromlech even sells some. Anvil Industries. So there's plenty of places to get your Acadian gas mask fix. That are probably cheaper and better than Forge Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this talk of Rough Riders is making me want to finish my Vostroyan Rough Rider conversions. Yeah, do it. That sounds awesome. All right, this checkering is coming along.
Yeah, it's looking good. So what do you think is next after the checkering?
The checkering on the other side.
That would do it.
Puppets War whenever they ship outside of Poland again. Yeah, I was looking at Puppets War the other day. It is a bummer that they've basically stopped shipping to all countries. I remember for the longest time, Puppets War. It seems like Puppets War has been kind of exploding and expanding their inventory a lot lately. Because for the longest time, I remember they just had a small handful of things and some Necron conversions that were cool, but like a little bit too different from the GW Necron kits. Mm-hmm. What they were doing was probably smart, but they probably should have been doing what's that company called? They started with pinups. They War Games exclusive, where they just straight steal the IP. I should have just watched you and waited to finish my orc checkering, or orc by watching you checkering. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, I paint a grid line, and then I fill it in, and then I go back and I fix it with the black, and then I fix my mistakes with the white, and then I fix my white mistakes with the black, and I just repeat until it looks good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I've ordered a bunch of minis from manufacturers in Spain because they looked cool, hoping they won't get caught up in the world. Bombshell miniatures. Oh, I love bombshell miniatures. Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. I don't know too much about Raging Heroes. Void 16, you did get here right before we're about to end.
Mm-hmm. But hello as well.
I like some of the bombshell designs. Wish the best were less busty. Yeah, bombshell is a little. It's definitely a little pin-up-y. They're a little better than some people, but like I would say, bombshell miniatures is classier than Reaper. Like Reaper doesn't really have any good women's sculpts if you don't want if you don't want a little cleave, but Bombshell is just a little classier than that.
But anyways, who doesn't want a good cleave? Jeez, Joy Flores.
Have you ever tried Gorka Morka, the game? I don't know. Can you buy Gorka Morka? Isn't that a really old GW game? Have you Bad Squiddo? I haven't heard of Bad Squiddo. Where's my pen? Who has good ladies? Anvil Industries has a pretty good female range. It's kind of a copy of Sisters of Battle, but they have some pretty sensible armor. Anvil Patreon has some good practical armor gals. I'm nervous about Anvil Industry like STLs because they're so, what I buy from them is so fine in detail. Is that gonna print great? Because like their prices aren't even that bad, and they have some of the best resin in the biz. So I would much rather just buy it than try to print it. And a lot of their kits are like interchangeable. So is a 3D printed peg and slot gonna work great? And I'm coming at this with having 3D printed zeros of miniatures.
Exactly.
I don't know though. Nick, you'll have to be the judge. Maybe I can show you some Anvil Industry resin I've bought, and you can say yay or nay if this will print.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I feel like, I don't think the pegs and the holes should be a problem. I feel like they'll design those to work. Maybe they'll have to get some to print.
I did share a pic a while back of one of my prints I did. Might be on the community Patreon, and I think they're good. I printed some robots from their September Patreon, and I can share a pic later. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm sure they're good, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just spoiled from the perfection they sent me.
Mm.
Sub-Zero 216001. Hey, new subscriber to the channel. Literally just started the game. Working on my first team with Tau. Been watching your videos for input and trying to make assembly easier. Doing a great job. Well, good for you, Sub-Zero.
Wow.
I hope your Tau. I hope your Tau are great. Even though Tau are filthy. No, there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with Tau, but I do kind of love Tau being the punching bags of 40k. Tau, I think for me, Tau are the Canadians of 40k. Yeah.
Right, Craig? But that's awesome. Glad we're able to help.
That's true.
Jay loves Tau. Yeah.
Yep.
Kill Team Tau. And you painted them with Canadian leaves.
Oh, God,
maple
that'd be
leaves
funny.
on them, right?
A Canadian Tau army. Or a Canadian Tau kill team. That would be hilarious. Might have to do a little paint strippage and make it happen. I do not like stripping minis. I think I'd rather just like sell them.
It's a pain.
I have too much stuff as it is. I'll just write it off as a bad job, sell them, and then just move on. Like, well, I guess I don't collect Gene Stealer Cult anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically the color of the maple leaf, no? Red and white. No, but I would go all out. Like, I would do the Canadian flag, mooses, Molson beer on tap. I bet getting kicked in the business with those hooves would ruin your day. Yeah, aren't moose like 1,000 pounds? Aren't mooses?
No, they're big.
Yes.
Mises.
Maiku O'Callahan? Just found your channel. Love the content. Speaking for Tau, I have over 2k points in boxes, but yet working on some new Space Wolves army at the classic gamer. You'll fit right in. So far, I'm working on the suits from the Start Collecting box. Already made a gun line. Need to paint them, but I don't really know what colors I want. Just got a Pathfinder's team box. Moose are freckin' huge. Speaking of anime, I just remember that there is someone who does 40k themed anime music videos on YouTube. It's really interesting. Huh. Yeah, please share. That sounds pretty cool. String Storm? Interesting. Chancio, do a flip. Flip.
Do a flip.
Acadian blood is a banger. Interesting. Oops. Interesting. So I think we're gonna wrap it up at 10:10, folks. Gave you a few extra minutes because I was a few extra minutes late. It won't happen again until it does.
Yeah.
That's a Eons of Battle guarantee. Yeah.
The stamp of approval.
All right. Boy, I probably have, I don't know, another hour of correcting on this checkerboarding. And then I need to paint it paint in grays so that it doesn't look so flat. Kind of like how I did with the hazard striping. I mixed in some orange and some scratches. Make it look like it's lived in a little. Ooh, you know what would look good? I think they did this in the Space Marine video game. Big truck tire shoulder pads would look really cool on orcs.
Oh, that'd be cool.
$40k themed birthday parties would probably be a bit of a downer. All the praying and accusations of heresy. The Starship Troopers soundtrack is good too. Ooh, I'll have to give that another listen. I don't remember the soundtrack very much. I just remember the guy. Is he the guy from How I Met Your Mother? Who's the funny guy? In Starship Troopers, he shows up in a Nazi uniform, and I always thought it was hilarious. Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris shows up at the end of that movie wearing a Nazi uniform.
Oh my god.
The Codex Astartes does not approve of this pool party. The War of the Worlds musical. That sounds like fun. Doogie Howser SS. Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can definitely see why people didn't know what to make of that movie when it was released.
Yep.
Is this a war propaganda movie? It's very pro-fascist. I don't think the irony maybe the irony was a little too subtle. Mertrillet. I still can't find my first 40k kit I bought years back. A Predator that had a metal Space Marine. Ah, neat. Yeah, good night, Small Herded Drafts. Good night, everybody. We're going to be wrapping up in just a second. New video out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
New video out tomorrow.
I mean, they're all good.
Yep.
But.
And then, yeah, you definitely want to say that. And then we'll be streaming tomorrow at 9 p.m. And we have our super secret Patreon stream after that.
Yeah, so subscribe to the Patreon if you want to hear a little extra streaming. All right.